as well, and also our channel. We have Grand Monolith from the Dark Time Enterprise down link below. We have Apocalyptos. I don't.
Post-apocalyptic game.
Well, just
we have with us today post-apocalyptic game.
Give us about a few
Best
minutes.
work ever made, by the way, in modern days was definitely.
Yep, there goes Ashley.
Fallout New Las Vegas.
Just give us a few minutes to get more people on, and we'll start the topic. We got a couple of them up as well right now.
Next time you should wait 5 minutes after you start the stream before you do the introduction.
You yelled at me about that last week.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. But
what's the name of the one program that Woody's gamer tag used and a lot of people do, where it's like a plug-in for Hangouts where you can edit like the background and have all cameras active at the same time?
Oh God, there is a plug-in to do that. I forget what it's called.
It's a free program though, and free plug-in.
Yeah, it's a free plug-in. We'll have to look into it after. I think you have to be using the app for that to work, correct?
I don't think so.
It'll work in the web app?
Yeah, it'll work on the web. And it'd be useful if like if you get a little bit bigger and have like advertisers or something and have advertisements on the side, get people to subscribe to other channels and stuff.
Oh, cool, because you can put like graphics on it and stuff, right?
Yeah, 3D animation.
Sweet. We'll have to look into that. That sounds really cool.
I want advertisers. I drink
you know what though? So Lance, you're over 1,000 subs, so that means you can start going around and asking for affiliates. Because once you get over 1,000 subs and monetized, over 1,000 subs, so that means you can basically get affiliates.
Someone is got a mic and hear your voice out and just looping over.
Hey, Blue Rose, what's up, buddy?
You want to know a fast way to get an Amazon affiliate?
What?
You actively like answer questions and review products that you buy on Amazon, and then eventually you'll get an email where it kind of promotes your account, and then it says like something reviewer. It's in blue next to your comments every time you comment on a product, and when you get to that point, you can get affiliates through them.
How much is it going to cost me, and how much time?
Affiliate? Well, you have to buy products. It doesn't cost you to be an affiliate. You just have to give them a reason to make you an affiliate. That's all these.
How much will it cost, and how long will time? Because I have to buy the product to review it.
Well, just review whatever you already ordered on Amazon. It can be back to a long time ago, and you can review it now.
Cat food, one of the best things in the whole wide world.
Yeah, but the one benefit of being an Amazon affiliate is when you advertise a product on your channel and you leave a link to the product, it gives an affiliate code. So if somebody buys that product with your affiliate code, you get some of the share from it.
I'm okay with that.
It's not much because I watch all these beauty gurus and they have affiliate links with like Morphe, all these other makeup products, and they don't get much from it.
I agree, Ashley. I mean, it's not a ton, but when you start getting a lot of subscribers and a lot of people are clicking those links, I mean, it adds up to something. I guess, because every little bit adds up.
I just want free loot crates and free candy and free games.
Yeah, you got to get bigger than what you are right now for that.
So you basically you want to get review codes, basically.
Yeah, I want review code. I want to play games. Game search is expensive. I haven't bought any new. The last.
Well,
last game I bought was new. I believe it was Final. Well, it's not really new. It just poured over to the Switch. It's Final Fantasy VII.
Well, luckily, a lot of the indie games...
I do have Honey Bunny.
Are really... Honey Bunny. A lot of the indie companies are more than willing to actually give out codes to smaller content creators.
Yes, the problem is that I want to play a game that interests me. I want to play a game that I review, and I'm going to pretty much demolish it. So there's a lot of hit and miss indie games for me, So that's one of the main thing I have problem with indie games right now. There's a lot of good indie games. There's a lot of indie games like I am not going to. That doesn't feel like this game's worth $10. This feels like a $2 game, in my opinion. Like Meat Boy.
I'm just saying, if you got a review code for it and it was free, then if you didn't spend any money on it,
Well,
I
Honey
mean,
Bunny gives me a monthly free indies for Steam.
what does Steam give you? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
It's a site for indies. It's a free like an indie site. You donate like whatever you can. And they give you like 3 or 4 indie code games for Steam or whatever consoles you have.
Is that like Humble Bundle?
Yeah, there we go. Humble Bundle. There we go. I thought it was called Honey Bunny. It's Humble Bundle. Hey, Carl.
Yeah, a percentage of whatever you donate goes to different charitable organizations.
Mm-hmm. And I get the thing for a lot of these games I got so far from Humble Bundle is the other I want to play.
Well, try going for some of the better indie. Try. I know. Try going for some of the better indie developers.
GOG has an affiliate link.
Arc? You mean that? You mean that?
GOG, GOG, Good Old Games.
Oh yeah, I actually. GOG is like also hit and miss too, because a lot of these games I do not know what they are. And a lot of these games I want to play, I want to buy, but I'll look at the GOG affiliate link for it.
You know what though? I mean, it's the same with Steam, right? Steam gets all the same indie games that GOG does.
Yeah.
So.
Usually, I'm trying to finish up Warcraft 2. 1 is just.
One is a very difficult game to play. That's what I was trying to tell you when you first
I know it's a difficult
I was like,
game,
oh my god, Warcraft 1. It's
3 is the best one though.
3 is the best, but 1
because of Rexar's campaign, it made it felt more like an MMO instead of an RTS.
Well, you also gotta remember, like when Command & Conquer, like Red Alert 1 and Tiberius Sun came out, those games were really hard. And then when later on down the road, it makes it a lot easier to do the graphical and more of what their commands and everything is a lot easier later on down the road. But it's more of a challenge. It's just I don't like clicking one unit at a time telling them what to do. That's basically Warcraft 1. It's fine. It's just I don't like clicking one unit at a time.
Well, a lot of the older games are harder than any of the newer games now.
Yeah. Sonic Mania was really actually fun. I had that up in the shelf when the Sonic Mania Plus actually came out. Remember, I bought it and I never played it. It was still stuck on my shelf. I was like, why not just play it? And what is it supposed to be? It's supposed
Sonic
to be
Mania is really good.
Is this supposed to be like the remake version of the original? Because a lot of the
It's not a remake. It's a totally new game.
Because the chemical plant, the level 1, has the same level as a chemical plant on Sonic 1.
It revisits some of the old location, but it's an entirely new story.
And
from was it Sonic 3 and Knuckles that you can actually it's like a small little cartridge add-on. You put Sonic 1 or 2 or 3 in, you can change the Sonic with Knuckles instead. For Sonic 1, I have that for Sega Genesis. But
So Lance, I know you wanted to talk about it because it's the topic of YouTube.
I said upcoming movies, so we're talking about upcoming movies.
It's
we're gonna bash
the topic of YouTube.
We're gonna bash on Godzilla.
Every damn YouTuber wanted to. What's wrong with the Godzilla trailer? The Godzilla trailer looked pretty good.
No, I used to be a huge Godzilla fan until more CG got involved in it, because I like the nostalgia of the man in the suit.
What's going on with you and Saturday?
Oh, is it Saturday?
It's Sunday.
I don't know. Yesterday.
Oh my god.
Yesterday I drank half a bottle, so it's fine. It's fine. It's a mishap. I'm exhausted. I wish today was Saturday.
And he doesn't feel good today because of all he drank yesterday.
Yeah.
Why don't you change it to Sunday while you're sitting here?
I could change the title, but not the thumbnail.
How did you get Saturday?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't yell at me. I'm still recuperating.
Lance, you should have had me look at it before you posted it.
You were too busy watching Game of Thrones.
I could
Hey,
still
Cinder
look.
Shadow Gaming, how are you doing? Murda? I don't know what Murda means.
So anyway, I can't believe you put Saturday again. But anyway,
How many times has he done this?
I don't know.
Too many to count.
Yeah, it's the third time. You're never gonna get people to take the podcast seriously. So anyway, tell us what you tell us about how you feel about the Sonic movie.
I really don't give. I make videos of me. Don't give. Ashley's the one that cares about it. I don't really care about it.
So it's okay to care about it, and this was kind of my whole deal with it. It became like a YouTube meme where every single YouTuber started jumping on the bandwagon.
Don't they do that with every single trailer anyway?
But they okay, you're true, but not to this extent. Oh my god! And there's a lot of YouTubers that posted like the next day, just ragging on everyone who kind of just jumped out there with these videos. Like literally, it was a horse race. It was the Kentucky goddamn Derby. Get your Sonic video out.
There was even anime YouTubers doing the Sonic.
Yeah, there were beauty YouTubers putting out Sonic reaction videos. It got out of hand. So there's a lot of YouTubers that actually generally cover that stuff that were like, I ain't gonna touch it. I ain't even gonna touch it. This has just gotten out of hand. This has become clickbait, bandwagon bullshit. And I told that to Lance. I said, anyone who puts out a video now, it doesn't really look good because it looks like you're bandwagoning. And he was like, I'm still gonna put it up. Like, oh, okay. And
but isn't that with every video game thing? Everybody bandwagons off of another person.
They do. I don't disagree. But what I'm trying to say is it's never happened to the extent because the false anger that was so prevalent in these videos was insane. It was like everyone just put out a video about how angry they were, and that's what it became. It became like a
Shadow
a
Gaming,
meme.
Do you think instead of changing up Sonic from
they probably did this trailer on purpose.
Hedgehog,
yes.
Maybe, because they had several variations of it.
Because I've heard that this trailer, they had people review the trailer months beforehand, so this trailer's been out for a bit, but didn't get public until when everybody.
About a whole bunch
Well,
of
there's a couple things here because I kind of looked into it a little bit before we went on. So, as Ashley said, yeah, definitely the trailer's been around, but you want to know what though? The trailer, the sneak peek trailer that they showed months ago to people actually had a different version of Sonic in it. It did actually have this version of Sonic in it. Isn't that? I think that's completely whack.
They had 5
and you know what else they said? And I think Lance is about to say it too. They literally have 5 different versions of Sonic. This was only one.
It's not only that. There's no way in hell. Because I do CGI and programming, and post CGI. You all know CGI and program how time consuming it is for pretty much an hour and a half movie that's going to be released in November.
They probably did multiple versions.
Yeah.
So there it is. Lance is you guys are hitting the nail on the head. They're saying, "Oh, we're going to correct it and use a different version of Sonic." But guess what? It's because they already have the other versions of Sonic. They've always had them. With
art studios, they always do multiple versions of one thing and put maybe one test version out for people to see, and if people don't like it, they scrap that and use another version which they already have.
The only thing
So
is
there's no,
Yeah,
animators aren't working on anything new. They're just
Right.
putting out their
They're
other
just using
idea.
it. They're just using a different version, which they probably made 2 years ago.
because
One, I think it's
They're just probably the animators are just probably going to finalize this.
yeah, they're
version.
just gonna
They got a
finalize.
bunch of test beta versions, but they
Yeah.
gotta finalize which in the 6 months before the movie
Well-
release they can do
well,
that.
Paramount
Yeah.
know what the majority of the people want. They want the
And
original
people
looking
were
Sonic.
saying that these people are going to be working overtime.
No,
but I'm
they
like,
won't.
that
They don't need
America,
to. It's bull
uh,
because they already
America
have these
are-
models ready to
Yeah,
go.
because problem is, if they did change it that time and then they said it won't be released till next year. If they
anyway,
If they had
so
to-
we
yeah, if
have
they had to go from
animators
scratch.
have a
Yeah.
union. Animators have a union. They can't be working over a certain amount of hours.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, if they were going from scratch, then it wouldn't happen by November. But
Yeah, it will
we all
happen
know
next
they're
year.
not.
Mhm.
They probably, literally,
they're
I'm gonna go
probably
out a limb
laughing
here.
their heads
Yeah.
off of
I'm gonna
what
go out a
people
limb
are
here.
saying.
I bet you they have like 10 different versions of the Sonic model.
And that's with
Yeah.
every movie studio. They always have multiple versions.
Let's step away from the Sonic model for a second. What's your opinion on Jim Carrey's performance as Eggman?
It's fine.
All I see is Ace
Hmm.
Ventura.
Because I've seen some people complain about his performance.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other people say that, oh, this movie's going to be so bad that even if Jim Carrey just
Okay.
acts like Jim Carrey, then he'll carry the movie as much as it's going to be carried because he's going to be, if he's at the top of his game, even if he's only playing as wacky Jim Carrey, right? As long as he is at the top of his acting game, acting like Jim Carrey, he can somewhat put on a performance that might give the movie, or that might carry the movie a little bit. And if a lot of people don't like that, I mean, we only saw the parts of the movie. We saw him talking and acting kind of before he becomes Eggman per se. So at some point in the movie, he's going to become Dr. Robotnik, and maybe he'll change how he acts then. But the pre-Dr. Robotnik version of him, definitely, I'm going to go with post. It's just Jim Carrey acting like Jim Carrey. But that might be enough. That's all I got to say. That might be enough. Jim Carrey acting like Jim Carrey might be enough to carry us through those parts.
You
of
also
the movie.
gotta know through the cartoons and a lot of the previous games that probably won't see from like the GameCube and up, that Robotnik is a psychopath, literally a crazy psychopath.
Yeah.
But you cannot keep him like
Jim Carrey would be pretty good if he plays Carnage. You can't deny that. Jim Carrey can play a psychopath. He also had a serious movie, him actually playing as a psychopath. I forgot what movie it was.
He's played in serious movies. He has.
Wait a second. Is the next Venom movie about Carnage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he is Carnage, right?
Not Jim Carrey.
No,
Not Jim Carrey.
it's the guy from Zombieland.
Yeah. What's his name?
But he seems like a very good Carnage.
Woody Allen.
You know the way, LOL. Yeah, Woody Allen's gonna play.
Woody Allen.
You know the way, LOL. Knuckles. You mean Uganda Knuckles? That was kind of fun looking at the memes after that. They got the human Sonic, then they got that.
Hey, Cinder
taxidermy
Shadow.
fox.
Cinder Shadow, if you're still in the chat, you know what game you should play on stream? Sonic. Do it, man. Play Sonic.
Sega does for Nintendo.
How I see this movie as being a prequel to the games, pretty much, something like that. This is like a prequel how Robotnik becomes Robotnik.
Yeah,
which is not necessary because they already had the Archie comics.
Well,
fans are the one that's gonna bring the kids. So
did Eggman make Sonic? No. The Eggman did not make Sonic.
And the reason why they don't have the other characters, Sonic's friends, in it, because
they're in the world.
Right. They'd probably be in the next movie, right?
Well, they didn't show up until Dr. Robotnik shoving animals inside of
Well,
robots.
technically, if you want to go technical by the games, Sonic 1 for the Sega Genesis only had Sonic in
Sonic
it.
in it, right?
Tails didn't come
Well,
in until
have
the
you
second
seen?
game.
Have you guys seen the Fox show Sonic X,
Yes, it was
where
kind
he goes into the other world where it's a world of humans instead of, you know, animals that have human traits and stuff like that. It's kind of like Sonic X, pretty much, where he's stuck in this new world.
of
Until like towards the end. But
Hopefully, I like Miles.
because Dr. Robotnik has become the Dr. Robotnik, that the psychotic thing, and threaten his world.
But
before he
isn't
tells everything
Miles
else.
like an engineer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's actually
The scientist, too.
Well, I don't know. It's a comic. I don't know. Is the cartoon canon with the games or not? Because I remember a lot of stuff.
Depends on which ones. Any cartoon that's based off the Archie comics is the Archie canon.
No, I mean
Which is what the first video games are based
the cartoons when growing up as
I
Miles
had
Graham
a
as a kid.
cartoon movie, and Miles was the scientist engineer, and then Knuckles was a treasure hunter.
No, Knuckles is a guardian of the Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
but
connected now.
kind of a
Hey,
treasure hunter.
hey Lance,
girl.
I just a quick side question. I do want to ask. So you think Woody Allen is going to be a good Carnage in the next?
That's what
Venom movie?
Hammer wrote.
I'm not looking at the chat. So.
Woody Allen.
I don't know. I have my doubts. I really liked the Venom movie, but we'll see if Woody Allen.
Well, Woody Allen did place played few roles, a few serious roles.
Yeah,
but I don't really see him as a murderous intent Carnage. I can see him as a psychopath.
What about natural born killers?
No. Woody
But
Allen.
He was the actor in Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, but the problem is that how I vision Carnage in the comics would be totally different in the movies, because how I vision Venom to be did not picture the one in the comics in the movie. That's just me, because I grew up reading the comics and watching the cartoons.
That's fine. I liked the Venom movie, but
you gotta think of it. It's how they're gonna project it on a screen.
Yeah.
In the cartoons, they can get away with a lot of things that you can't get away with in a movie.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like the MCU right now, and me is kind of conflicting, because I grew up with these things. I see it in live action. It's like, wow, that's great.
But
yeah.
Let's take some things into context here about the MCU. Not that
it's a different parallel universe. I know.
Not that I want to delve too deep into this, but it is not Earth 616. The other thing is that the MCU is kind of like a combination of Ultimates, the Ultimate Comics, and Marvel Now, which was a newer series that they tried in recent years.
Yeah.
So, for example, Thor has Stormbreaker, right? That particular hammer. That's the hammer he has in Ultimate Comics, not in the normal. That's not Thor. That's not Thor 616. That's not that Thor. That's Ultimate Thor. Thor was a drunk in the Ultimate Comics. He was a drunk.
I didn't read the Ultimate Comics.
Anyway, back to the Sonic stuff. There's other interesting news about Sega. I don't know if you saw in the last couple of days, but Sega lost 70% of the value of its company.
Is it because they released a trailer?
No, this is a quarter-long thing. This has to do with sales, not because of the movie. So don't worry about that.
What did they bring out? They bought another DLC for Total War of Warhammer 2K 2. We got the Genesis collection. They did crap sales on the Act Game version, but they are releasing their mini version, a classic version of their own from a different company later on. There haven't been much actual like AAA title from Sega that's been released.
Is it
lately.
yearly or quarterly?
Actually, that was part of their yearly sales report.
So it's Trump's Sonic Forces because Sonic Forces bumped. They put so much money in it and it failed.
I thought it was a good game.
So I haven't played it yet. I know you were telling me it was a good game, so I might give it a try, but I haven't. I mean, the game you were playing today, I really loved. Sonic Mania.
Yeah, because it looks like your old 16-bit game from Genesis. Let's feel to it.
Right.
But
this is the thing. Let's also kind of talk about what Sega said about this. And they said, they said basically what you just said, Lance. They said no one should be worried about this. And the reason why they said that is because they went, we didn't release anything. You know, they're like, yeah, our sales were 70% down, but we had no releases. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
And
aren't they having a game release this year though? I think Battlenet 3.
They've got stuff they're working on, and this is what they were talking about. They were like, look, we didn't lose money. Sega said we didn't lose any money. Okay, we just didn't make a ton of money. So I mean, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, don't worry, because I heard Sega saying one thing. They're gonna take the Atari box approach. You have the Sega box.
Right.
Give
Exactly.
me your money. You'll never see the product back.
So let's look at what's going on with Sega in the future. We have the Genesis Mini, the Mega Drive Mini coming out, right?
Hopefully,
so
it's gonna be good.
So that let's say that's a quality piece.
Well,
let's say that's a quality piece. That's going to make them some money.
No, that's probably you make them some money. The problem with that is they're going against the other Sega Genesis that's been released as an HD model that you put cartridges into.
But they're going to try and market this as
Sega approved,
as authentic. No, they're going to market this as Sega authentic. So that's how they're going to push this.
Or it might be.
And they're also putting games on this that are not on any of the game systems.
And also, it might be another PS Classic, so my PS Classic won't be that loading anymore.
I don't think Sony's going to touch that again. I'm sorry. I think that they're going to stay far away from that. I think you're stuck with your PS. Your $100 PS Classic that you pre-ordered, that you tell everyone you paid $50 for.
I did pay $50.
How did you pay $50 for it? You got it at pre-release.
No, I did not get it at pre-release. I got it after Christmas.
Okay, you'd have to show that to us. But anyway, all right. So let's look. Let's talk about what else Sega's got. They got that coming out, right? Now they have 2 new Persona releases coming. They got Persona. They got Persona R, Persona 5 R, and Persona 5S, right? So
Sega owns Persona.
What?
Sega owns Atlas. I forgot.
Yeah, Sega owns Atlas, but currently they have a contract with Sony, so that's why all the Personas are on Sony.
Okay.
Well, no, they have a contract for Persona 5, not the other ones. For example, Persona 5S is coming out on the Switch.
I think it's gonna be a bomb crap.
Yeah, I agree, because it's a Dynasty Warriors type game.
I don't think a lot of the Warriors game made any much money off of like the Fire Emblem.
I don't know. Hyrule Warriors made a ton of money.
I thought it was crap. I beat it. I thought it was crap still.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. I just bought it because I just beat it because I bought the damn thing.
I didn't like it either. I'm not a Dynasty Warriors fan. The only Dynasty Warriors games I liked were the Gundam ones, and even those were kind of iffy. Because I think the Versus game on the PS4 is actually better than any of the Dynasty Warriors style Gundam games. So yeah, I guess it is what it is, right?
The best Dynasty Warriors Gundam game was the one for the PSP that never got released in America.
I've never played it.
You can customize your Gundams and give them names and everything.
Really?
You played your own pilot and your own Gundam, and then you progressed your story like that.
What I want is another Armored Core. What I want. What's the name of that game for the Switch that's coming out? The mech game. Oh my God, I'm blanking on its name. What's the name of that game? I want that game. I saw the demo for it.
What?
There's a mech game.
Oh
coming
yeah,
out on Switch.
Dogma. I did the demo video for it. It's
Yeah,
actually good. It's good, but
Damon Ex Machina.
yeah, I did.
Damon Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I want that. I'm excited for that game.
Well, you watched me play
I'm
a demo.
excited
Did you
for
play a demo?
I watched you play the demo. I didn't play the demo.
It's fine, but other than that, is it's very limited on what I can tell because you don't get all the skill
Hopefully-
tree and everything else for it.
Hopefully, that's just the demo was limited.
Yeah, of course, demo's going to be limited. They're not going to give you the full spiel for you. It's like, here's the game. Hope you like it and buy our product.
But that I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I'm
It
also
would've been
excited for. Go ahead, sorry, Post.
You got it.
I was just gonna say I'm also excited for Devil May Cry to actually drop in price.
Damon Ex Machina would have been a good opportunity for PvP and stuff like that. It would have been a good platform for competitive play.
As the Uncharted coming out with, we also stop talking about Sonic. Let's talk about upcoming movies. I don't know much about Uncharted.
We haven't been talking about Sonic. We were just finishing up on Sega. I mean, so what else? So what else from Sega is on the horizon? You know, another franchise that could really help Sega out, that if they go multi-platform with it, I think it would sell a ton, is Yakuza. If they went multi-platform on Yakuza, like that game sold, the last Yakuza game sold a ton on the PS4. If they went to, I think, is Yakuza on the PC?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, but if they went to the Switch and the Xbox One X, I think they would sell
the older models, older Yakuza, Yakuza will play it on the Switch. I don't know about the latest one, but Xbox will play really well.
Definitely.
The problem with I tell you, I have the games, I just never played it. So,
well, the new Yakuza is definitely a game I'm looking to pick up and play, most definitely. Yeah. But I just haven't had a chance, and I haven't had the money. But I think it's going on sale. The second I see it on sale, I'm gonna pick it up.
A lot of Yakuza games was free on the PSN, monthly PSN.
Well, I'm kind of more interested in the current one, and then of course the 800-pound gorilla in the room would be Shenmue 3, right? And I know it's not being developed by Sega in-house. They have it out. It's being developed out. It's outsourced, but it's still a game that belongs to them, and we'll see if it makes them any money.
Yeah, again,
so,
I have that game. I never played it.
You've Shenmue 1 and 2?
1 and 2, the remastered one.
I'd like to pick them up and play them. I played them back when they came out on the Dreamcast, and then I played number 2 on the original Xbox. And it's been a long time, so I don't really remember them that well. So it'd probably be fun to play them over again. But I think all in all, yes, I'm gonna have to agree with Sega that sure they took a hit, right? They took a hit in sales, but they are in no way in trouble. I think
have many games coming out.
Yeah, I think that coming up on the horizon, they're going to be just fine. They didn't lose any money. They just didn't make a ton of money. And they've got so many projects in the works and so much stuff going on.
And plus, it takes longer to produce a lot of these things, too.
Right.
I'm excited for Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, that's right. They're developing Bayonetta 3 for Nintendo.
Probably won't come until next year.
Next year. I mean, look, there's a lot of people out there that actually like Bayonetta better than Devil May Cry. I don't know how I know you're big into those type of games, Ashley. So what's your take on that? I like them both. I love them both.
I just see Bayonetta like a girl version of Dante. That's what she seems like.
Well, Bayonetta is even a little more over the top in the fan service, which I do enjoy, of course. Who doesn't enjoy fan service? I certainly do. So
I went to a convention. There was a girl dressed as Bayonetta. Looked exactly like her, too. I took a picture with her.
How long was her hair? Did she have the hair?
She had the long hair. It was a wig.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Did you guys see the new Streets of Rage?
No.
I know, that's another game I'm pretty excited for, Streets of Rage 4. Hey, Post, maybe you know this. Is it true that Fighting Force on the PS1 Was that supposed to have been Streets of Rage 4? Is that true? And it just didn't happen? Like they didn't get the license, or it was outsourced, they started development on it, and then the development just got pulled on it, but they continued making the game and just came out as Fighting Force. Because Fighting Force is actually not a bad 3D beat 'em up. I mean, it's definitely no Streets of Rage 2, but
I think it was just a copy.
it was just a copy. Okay, all right, I can dig that. I can dig that. But it was an okay game, right? I thought I'm sorry. I thought Fighting Force was not a bad game. I mean, it's during that clunky era of 3D when 3D was just getting fleshed out. So like I don't know, like the 3D didn't age well, but it's still like a cool game. Still no Streets of Rage 2.
In the trailers for Streets of Rage 4, Blaze and Axel is confirmed, which is like the two main people in the whole Streets of Rage franchise. My only complaint and my only hope is that they at least have Max and Skate too, which is the other two iconic people in Streets of Rage. Max was kind of like the really big buff dude that takes up the entire screen, and Skate was like, you know, the short guy.
So what is Streets of Rage 4 supposed to hit? Where is it right now in development cycle?
In the bowels of hell that you never get your hands on.
I think they're close to finishing it.
That would be neat. That would be neat. And I hope it gets a physical release, because I want physical releases. I don't want...
It will probably most likely be a physical release.
That would be nice.
Made by At Games.
I'm going to hold my breath. I'm going to hold my breath.
And Adam is another iconic person too that I didn't see in the trailer.
I have a question. Isn't Dante Inferno a Sega game too?
I don't know. I do remember Dante Inferno, but I don't know.
Hammer was asking, hope there's another Dante Inferno game. Because I think the Dante Inferno game is made by Sega, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think it is.
I don't know. I gotta look at my shelf for that. Let's move to the next topic. Borderlands 3 microtransaction.
It's not going to be a big of a deal.
I think okay, this is what I think is going on with that. Just quickly, I think the big uproar is not that it's going to have cosmetic microtransactions. It's just that our friend Randy doesn't know what the word microtransactions means. I don't think that Borderlands 3 would pay to win. And Borderlands 2 had plenty of cosmetic upgrades. And it's fine that Borderlands 3 will have plenty of cosmetic upgrades. But let's get real and let's talk about the definition of microtransactions. Microtransactions is any time that you buy a specific item that goes onto your character. And Mr. Randy there doesn't seem to understand the definition of microtransactions, or just outright was lying, you know. And I think at the end of the day, I'm going to agree with Post. The microtransactions in Borderlands 3, I pray to God, you hear me, Gearbox? I pray to God that they're not going to ruin the game. Just like they didn't ruin the game for Borderlands 2, because they certainly didn't ruin the game for Borderlands 2. I just think the big controversy is in the fact that the man doesn't know what to say and when to say it. And that's basically causing a huge problem, because he comes out and he says there's gonna be no microtransactions in this game.
I think
there clearly are microtransactions. Cosmetics are microtransactions. Get your definitions correct, Randy, before you speak. And if he had done that, if he had come out and just said everything in the correct way, I don't think there'd be an uproar.
You could have just said it's going to have cosmetic microtransactions.
Exactly. And plenty of games do cosmetics right. Look, Blizzard does cosmetic microtransactions.
Overwatch has it. Overwatch has it, but most people don't do that.
That's not
they
really
just wait for the
crate.
No, Overwatch is not Loot Crate. It's It's straight up micro. You know what you're buying. They're cosmetics.
No.
There's skins.
No, it's Loot Crate.
Loot Crate.
Overwatch is Loot Crate.
Overwatch is Loot Crate.
Yeah.
But isn't it? It's a type of
No.
transaction.
I mean, no.
You buy.
You can buy cosmetics straight up from Overwatch.
No,
I'm done.
you can't.
You only can buy
Oh.
the loot boxes.
Loot boxes.
The only time where you know what you're buying is when you buy like the collector's edition, which comes with the specific skins for getting the collector's edition. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But it's Loot
Be it
Crate.
whatever. I've definitely bought.
It's basically the same.
I've got cosmetics in Overwatch straight up before, but be it what it's made. The loot boxes are. I mean, they're still cosmetics and they're still skins, and I think that's going to be the case with Borderlands 3. And I think that's okay, but the only problem, the only issue we had is just how Randy came out and kind of explained it. That's all. That's all. I think Borderlands 3 will be just fine. I don't think this is going to be a big. I think when the game comes out, it's not going to be a big deal. I think it's just Randy made it to be a big deal because he misrepresented what he was saying.
I pray it will be another Fallout 76 or 72.
I don't ruin Borderlands.
No.
Don't ruin Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was a great game.
I tried playing it.
Borderlands 1 was good too, but the only problem with Borderland it wasn't very story driven focused.
Very true. There wasn't much there.
I tried playing the Borderlands. I really did. It just didn't really appeal to me.
I see Carl's afraid for Borderlands 3. And sure, you know what? In this day and age, Carl, I mean, you're right. Like, you got to be afraid for anything coming out because there's so much misrepresentation and lies that.
It depends on the type of game.
That no matter what they say or don't say, you got to be afraid for everything. It's like the Star Wars games that was announced from EA, and then EA came out and basically said, well, we're not going to have loot boxes and microtransactions and single play. How do you really know, though? I'm going to say I'll believe it when I see it. And
waited 1 week for someone to do a thorough review on it.
Carl's talking about SJWs ruining everything. And we already have a small example of that happening in Borderlands 3. It's not a huge story, so I'm not going to try and make it out to be a huge story. But Borderlands 3 has already censored a word out of the game that people are like, why did you censor that out? And, Borderlands 3, their answer is, well, it's a derogatory term, right? They banned the word midget in the game, and it made some headlines. I don't want to blow it out of proportion. It's just one word. We'll see what happens. But yes, they banned the word midget out of the game, and it made it in a bunch of articles. And it's whatever. Midget at one time in history was not, quote unquote, a derogatory term. But after I saw that article, I actually went and looked up a bunch of definitions on midget. And a lot of the definitions do state that it is used heavily as a derogatory term today. So I kind of see where they're going. At the same time, there's a lot of derogatory terms in games. But so I'm not gonna make a huge deal out of the banning of the word midget.
It's just word.
Let's just see where this goes. If this leads to something bigger, if they just cut it off and stop it here, I'm okay with that. But if they start bringing other things into it, whoa.
If they become like Sony?
Carl, you're right. We should be very afraid if we start seeing other things pop up other than these.
I hope they don't do anything to Bayonetta.
Well, Nintendo and Sega.
I don't think Bayonetta will get any sense. I think Bayonetta is safe because it's Sega and Nintendo.
And they say go screw yourself, pretty much.
Yeah. Give me 5 minutes, and you guys continue on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, any sort of censorship on the Borderlands franchise would kind of ruin it because Borderlands is known for its edgy humor and, over-sexualize some characters,
Well, yeah,
Never played the game, so I won't know.
Absolutely, Post. And because of that edgy humor, that's why some people were a little put back by the banning of the word midget, because it's part of the edgy humor that would be in the game. So let's give them this one. Let's say, okay, and let's sit back and wait and hope. And if they start pulling any more of this, well,
Like,
then we need to start to
what
pull out the
kind of
gun.
humor? What kind of sexualized humor? Is it on the scale of Bayonetta, like high?
No, like over sexualized characters,
Yeah,
like Moxie.
like characters in Bayonetta. Yes. So you want to compare them to characters in Bayonetta, which definitely
She's
has.
overly sexualized. You
She's
see her
very
naked.
sexualized
You
character.
see her naked.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I think is fine. I think the artwork in Bayonetta is pretty good. I like the artwork in Bayonetta.
I love
So,
it.
so the Borderlands community. I don't know if you heard the story, but it was funny. They were all arguing what color Moxie's panties were. So one hacker slash like glitch guy in the community literally went out and glitched the entire game. Like he made a whole video phasing through walls and stuff just to prove what color they were.
I'm guessing black.
No, they were like a light blue.
Oh, I don't even know who this character is. I never
Okay.
played the game.
She's the girl in the bar with the top hat and stuff.
Mm.
I never played the game, but I think Lance has it.
Lance has every game, and he never plays them all. Why? What are you playing now, Ashley? Now that we're talking about what we're playing, what are you playing now?
I haven't played any game. The most recent game was Sonic.
Oh,
I was
Sonic
like-
Mania?
No, I was doing the Genesis collection on the Switch. So
Oh, right.
the original Sonic. I was playing that.
I literally bought the Genesis collection just to play Streets of Rage.
Yep.
I got it for
That's why I
Sonic.
bought it. I mean, Streets of Rage 1 and 2 are great games. 3 is okay, but I love Streets of Rage 2, and I really like 1. 3 kind of seemed like it was the bastard.
3 was rushed.
Yeah, it was like the bastard stepchild of them. But it's okay. It's an okay game. And then my next favorite kind of beat 'em up is Final Fight. Didn't One Up do a Final Fight arcade stand up? Isn't there a Final Fight arcade stand up? Didn't One Up
I
do one?
don't think so.
Thought they did, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Could be wrong. And they did Mortal Kombat. They did the Street Fighter 2. I thought they had done Final Fight as well, but I could be wrong.
I'm checking now. Yes, it's bundled with 1944 and Ghosts and Goblins and Strider.
Oh, okay, that cabinet. And I'm glad they did 1944 because I feel like that was the best one out of that series in the arcade. So that was a good one for them to do in the one-ups. So.
I am back.
I liked Strider back in the day.
Strider, great game. Totally in agreement.
Never
But
played it.
every time I hear, what gets me with arcades, and I said this last time when we were talking about the one-up cabinets, it's the noises that the Space Invaders cabinet makes. I just remember that echoing through the arcade that I spent a ton of time at camp when I was a kid. Well, I can still hear it in my brain. Oh my God, it's driving me crazy. Hey, what's going on with Nintendo Online? I should say, what's not going on with Nintendo Online? How about upgrading and adding any value to it?
They should just make it free.
Yeah, at this point, Nintendo Online is a complete and utter failure. It's a complete and utter
What's
failure.
happening? They're raising up the price?
No, it's just they haven't done anything to it. It's a failure.
Well, they're making money out of it, don't they? They have
What?
10 million subscribers on it?
The $3 they get from a couple people every month. Do they have 10 million subscribers on it? I don't know.
That's what they Nintendo announced. We have 10 million subscribers. So $3, that's $30 million right there.
I guess.
That's still a huge chunk of change.
What you have to keep in mind too is if you have Amazon Prime, you got 3 months for free.
Yeah, it's a huge chunk of change because there's a lot of people that wants to play with each other and everything else with other type of first-party games on Nintendo and cross-platform between Xbox and Nintendo.
Not everything is cross-platform yet. Name me the cross-platform games between Xbox Live and Nintendo.
Minecraft, Fortnite.
That's 2.
What other games? Paladin, Smite, Smite,
Paladin is a dumb freemium game.
Warframe,
Dumb freemium game.
Tank Blitz, I believe. Tank
Dumb,
Wars.
dumb freemium game.
Yes, again, Onegai Girls. I think it was horrible on the Switch. I reviewed. Like I said, there's a lot of free MMO RPG and a lot of cross-platform between the PC, the Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Rocket League is cross-platform as well.
Well, Rocket League, there's another subject I was going to get into, but let's finish up on Nintendo.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people on the Switch. I got the thing because to play Diablo 3 cross-platform with other people, but for reason I'll really want the cross-platform with the PC because I want to use my PC characters from Diablo 3 on the Switch. But
I'll tell you what I use Switch Online for.
Tetris?
Mario Kart.
Tetris.
Yeah, I play Tetris 99 sometimes, but Tetris 99 can really get on my nerves because basically it doesn't matter how good you are at Tetris. If you get targeted by 10 people at once, there's nothing you can do about it, and it doesn't matter how fast you are. And I know this for a fact because I'm a big fan of Jonas Neubauer. And if you don't know who Jonas Neubauer is, Jonas Neubauer is the greatest Tetris player in the world. Okay, literally, and he does have a Twitch channel where he gets drunk with his wife, and I don't know.
Yes, we know you have a shrine.
Yes. Anyway, Jonas Neubauer, he does win. Say 90% of the time he's on Tetris 90. No, 95% of the games he plays on Tetris 99, he wins.
He used to be the world champ, but he got lost to a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 1 year.
Also,
1 year. He won the 5 years before that, and then lost in the finals at the Portland Retro Gaming show in 2018 to that kid. But anyway, he streams like every night, and he wins. Might be even higher than 95%. I'm going to say like he wins 98% of all the games he plays on Tetris 99. He wins. But those 2% that he loses, it's because he's unlucky and literally he gets freaking targeted by 10 people. And even at the speed he plays at, and let me tell you, he plays at an unhuman speed, a godly unhuman speed he plays Tetris at. He cannot go fast enough to compensate for 10 people hitting him at once. So I say the flaw in the game. That's just my opinion. Some people might say, well, it's part of the RNG of the game. Well, okay.
I'm gonna say something about what Hammer said. He said that even if they made Nintendo Online free, it wouldn't include the 30 games. For that, I say just make it free and then have the games thing like a separate, different service, kind of like what Microsoft does with Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. For me, it's not really, even though it says like 30 or more games on it, but it's really, I think it's like 20 some odd games because a lot of the games are like the special edition with all the cheats and everything else for the last boss and everything. I don't.
And a bunch of them are sports games. I don't have any interest in playing. I don't have interest in playing those baseball games.
I only think there's like only one baseball games in there. One baseball, one golf, but there's a lot of different variation of Zelda, same Zelda games, Kirby games.
There's 3 Maddens, 3 NBA 2Ks, and 3 NHLs.
I want them to put on Super Nintendo games and SNES games onto the online. Now I'll be more happy about it. But I rarely play anything on the Nintendo Switch online games because the NES. I guess because I grew up on the Super Nintendo more than I played Nintendo afterwards. Then when the Sega Genesis came out, I played very little of that, right? Because I always play majority of my games on Super Nintendo because I grew up. I guess I some reason I just factory loving my Super Nintendo growing up. That's just basically me. But like I play some of these games. Like it's fun, but I also remaster a lot of these games for better graphic as well. So that's that's one of those things. Everyone has their opinions on games on the online for it, but I think it just how many people how many if everyone's gonna play all 3 of those games that they really want, or they're just only gonna play that one or 2 games out of that 30, and they're still paying $20-$30 a month for it. So but
Well, I hear you. I don't think the value is there. I don't care if it's only $20 a year. The value's not there. They're not doing anything with it.
yeah, well, only thing I want them to do is fix the team chat. That's the main thing, and also and also have a way that you can actually text and chat on the Switch instead of on the phone. I don't think the phone really has only voice chat. It's very finicky because why would I want to have my phone and the Switch if I could just have everything on the Switch? That'd make it a lot more easier. That's the main thing I have.
What do you mean have it on the Switch?
Yeah, that's the main thing I have a problem with the Switch. It's like with the Switch Online. That's the main problem I have. Everything else is fine because it's cheaper than the rest of the other console that provides it. I download every free game every month from PlayStation and Xbox because I'm paying, what, I think it was like $50-$60 a year for each of them. So I try to get my money's worth either way, even though I don't play majority of the games that's on the hard drive, but I have it for free.
They don't have a lot of the games though.
Well, they're bringing Gears of War 4 on the Xbox One. I don't know what the PS4 is going to be bringing out this month. I heard Gears of War 4 wasn't that good.
No,
Never
it's
played a
not
Gears
good
of War.
because the story is not as long as the other Gears of Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat that probably in like 3 or 4 hours.
I mean, the games for gold, you're gonna see that disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you're gonna see that disappear is because they want Game Pass.
Yeah, instead of paying, I'd rather pay $20 a year rather than $10 a month. That is true. I think I pay $39 a year just for family plan.
It's $35.
$35 a year for family plan.
Yep.
There's anything like any of the Gears games. Yeah, every game is like a hit or miss. Like for me, I don't like sports game. I don't even like racing. Oh, I like the older racing game. I don't like the newer ones. But that's just everyone has their different taste in games.
What do you think is the difference between the new racing games and the older ones?
Microtransactions.
No need. I'm not that. It's just
yes. So the way Forza works is they do have it set up that you can buy things individually, but then they offer everything as a total DLC package using the season pass. So I think that the way they did Forza 4 was okay. I think it's a little expensive because the season pass was like $70, but it basically did include everything that was part of the microtransaction packages. So I got to give them credit for that. Not that I wanted to have to spend another freaking $70 after I bought the game. I did.
For me, I like the older ones because it's unrealistic, and basically you can, like the first Gran Turismo for the PS1 I enjoyed the most because because you could crash, burn it, whatever you want with it, and it's very unrealistic. The newer ones, they made it more and more realistic of a game, of a racing game. I did not, and I'm like, I drive a car. Let me see my Nissan Quest. I could probably do the same thing with my Nissan Quest. I just want an unrealistic version of the racing games. That's why I like.
You mean like Mario Kart?
Yeah, basically like that.
I mean, hear me out here, Lance. Burnout is not a realistic racing game.
Never played Burnout.
So there you go. So you're telling me that there's all these racing games that are
no, because the racing games I see so far is Forza.
Forza Horizon is certainly not realistic.
Need for Speed was a good one too. The
So
original Need for Speed was a good one.
Tell me in what way you think the arcade mode in Forza Horizon is a arcade racer. You're thinking of Forza Motorsports. So you gotta gotta look into it a little more. Forza.
You told me why. This is the reason why. You know.
He's talking about the cars look too realistic.
No, not that. Not the car realistic. I mean, like the driving and mobility wise. It's like if you speed up and you hit a bump, it freaking curves. It hits a wall just like that. But there are still plenty of racing games like that. But you know, it's for me. Yeah, I know, but I don't play it anymore because I probably got out of it until Gran Turismo. I think 3 or 4 came out, and I just stopped playing it, and I switched to Need for Speed. And that was fun until later on down the road, the latest Need for Speed. It was like it just got to a point like no for me.
So how about this? Instead of playing car racing games, why don't you play Gravity Racers?
I do not know what Gravity Racer is. I think I saw it, but didn't really appeal to me. Like on the last style racing game I bought so far.
Hold on, before you tell me that they don't appeal to you, why don't you tell me what they are? Name a couple Gravity Racers.
Is it like what's that Captain Falcon's game? F-Zero.
F-Zero.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. F-Zero, Redline, Wipeout's one of the most. F-Zero and Wipeout are probably the 2 most famous Gravity Racers.
Yeah, it's just. I also I played the N64 version of the pod racers.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah, I have that, and I don't know. It just didn't really appeal. It's just I don't know why I like the Mario Kart a hell of a lot better than the Crash Bandicoot Racing, Sonic Racing, the Diddy Kong
like
Racing. Yeah,
you didn't like Team.
Yeah, and Diddy Kong Racing as well.
Shrek Racing.
Yeah, there's SpongeBob Racing stuff. It's like I don't know that genre. You know, you pick that. You know, you like the Mario Kart better.
But the SpongeBob was for the kids.
Well, they're all for kids too and adults. It just got to the point. It's like it's like so many of these variation of it. There's so many variation of car games. It just lost its appeal over time for me.
I mean, that's fine. We all, as we play games, as a 4, I just stopped playing it because I didn't want to pay the extra money for the DLC packages because, hey, look, when I spent...
Kingdom Hearts going that way?
Yeah, but
that's different. Kingdom Hearts is different.
You can get complete editions for games.
Story DLC for Kingdom Hearts.
Is it going to cost, though?
Yes, of course. They're not going to put it out for free.
Darn it.
I mean, think about this. Like, the complete edition for Nier Automata just came out. I picked that up. That's got everything on it. The remaster for Burnout Paradise. You want an arcade racer that has all of the content on the disc. There you go, Burnout Paradise. It's all on there. You can get it for the Xbox. You can get it for the PS4. It's a remake of the of Burnout Paradise that was on the last generation of consoles. That's a complete game. So there is types of DLC that I'm okay with. I mean, but a lot of times I'll wait for a complete edition for a game to come out, even if it's a year later. Like Nier Automata, although Nier Automata, I did originally have the first release of it because I did actually think they were going to do another release because Square Enix is notorious for not putting out complete editions.
Well, they are going to start putting a whole bunch of they've been porting a lot more of the older ones, not the older ones, but a lot of the older ones over, and they're making complete DLC edition because now Sony knows that it makes. I mean, Square Enix knows that it makes them money. If it makes them money, they'll keep on doing it. People keep buying it. They're just gonna milk it. They're going to milk it dry.
Right. I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, what other games out there do you guys like to play that you're afraid that they're going to try and milk dry?
There's none in my. There's none that I know of. I don't really play GTA. I don't play. I have Red Dead Redemption 1. I still haven't played it yet.
Speaking of GTA, has everyone seen the supposed leaks
Oh, that's
on GTA 6?
The fake leaks.
Is it fake? That's my question. I don't know.
Rockstar, basically announced it's fake, and not too long, later on a few days later, someone leaked fake leaked Left 4 Dead, the new Left 4 Dead, and also that there's none in production.
People like to play with people's minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why release fake fake rumors about things like
because they're trolls.
Well, people did in the past too with a lot of other games. It's like, oh my god, is this the trailer for it, or is this the pictures for it? No, it's not. It's not. It's one of those things.
They do it for games. They do it for movies.
And it's one of those things. We have internet. We always get glued to the internet, and whether you believe it or not, you gotta go research the facts. A lot of times, that's pretty much it.
Post, what are you playing lately?
Right now?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Yes. Is that basically it? You're just grinding out WoW?
Yeah. I just got back from a break.
But
that's an example of a game that they're milking dry.
Do you think that World of Warcraft is ever going to come to an end, or what do you think the future of World of Warcraft holds? And this is an interesting question.
The vanilla classic coming back.
So classic is pretty much their ploy into keeping the subscribers that they already have and try and bring more subscribers, because WoW is not quite as interesting as it was before, and because they're owned by Activision, that Activision pretty much screwed Blizzard Entertainment as far as World of Warcraft goes.
What did they do to it?
Pretty much anything that Blizzard wants to do to keep true to their old development type styles and stuff, Activision's kind of like, no. So because Activision's kind of like their parent, well, not really their parent, they're a joint company now. It's Activision Blizzard. Like if you look up the stock, it's one thing. So Activision doesn't have the rights to go and make something for Blizzard games, but they have the right to say yes or no to things.
So what is the thinking? Like the thinking behind them putting so much energy behind Classic? Exactly. I'm not sure. I haven't really been following World of Warcraft that closely. And since you're playing a lot of it, I figured you'd know a lot more about this. Like what is the thinking? Is it them basically saying, hey everyone, World of Warcraft's not overcomplicated anymore. Here's a much simpler game. Come back and play it.
Actually, Classic is way more complicated. It's a true MMORPG. They simplified World of Warcraft over the years. And the reason why Classic is coming out is because so many people asked for it for years. And before it's too late, before they lose all their subscribers, they're going to release it.
Mm-hmm. Reforge for Warcraft 3 is coming out this year too.
So if you could do like a quick rundown of what exactly Classic entails, because I think maybe there's a lot of people that don't know. I kind of know a little about it, for sure, but just for people out there that might not know exactly what Classic entails, it might be good to just kind of run down what the differences are between Classic and then Standard WoW.
Well, Classic was very hard, like what Hammer says.
Well, I'm looking kind of for specifics.
Yes. Okay. In current World of Warcraft, the level cap is 120. But if you compare 120 in retail WoW now to level 60, which is the cap in Classic, it takes 2 months to get to level 60, whereas it can take a person a week or two to get to 120 from level 1. Okay?
Understood.
And classic is a way more competitive and more what's the word? More specific towards things and more like skill drawn as it compared to retail WoW.
So how are the instances and the raids and all that going to work in Classic WoW?
Well, I think they're gonna bring the looking for group thing, but other than that, is I remember back then you need like 40, 60 people in a raid for a dungeon for classic, or before a raid
For a raid,
classic, yeah.
for a raid.
Even though it's 40, 60 people, it was still ridiculously hard to. It took like months over months because the mechanics on it is like you have to hit it right or do it right. If not, you're gonna screw the whole thing. It's one of those things. It meticulously, and that went through until the Lich King. After the Lich King and the Cataclysm came out, they just start dumbing it down really fast from
That's when
there.
Activision acquired them.
Huh? Yeah.
That's when Activision acquired them.
Yeah, because Lich King, I was in Naxxramas. I think I butchered the name for it. It was we were at this scientist that basically throw potions with all these ooze and stuff, and you have like
apothecary.
Yeah, it's like we basically have to like have 2 tanks, then we have a couple of the rangers. They're like misdirecting them to the tanks and stuff like that. And if one tank dies, everyone dies, or like majority of the DPS die or healer. They always try to attack the healers. The healers were keeping everything alive in the group. And it took like almost, I think, like 3 months before we actually completed the whole thing. It was fun, it was fun back then. It was because it gives you a challenge. Now it's, Pandaria, Legion.
Right now, retail WoW, the current expansion is Battle for Azeroth, and Battle for Azeroth has the worst releases in WoW history ever.
I haven't played a raid yet for the battle. I played the dungeons for it, so it was very easy.
So, like when Battle for Azeroth first launched, there was literally nothing to do. People were complaining because this is the first expansion that they got rid of tier sets for raids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who that don't know, a tier set means like there's like 4 to 5 pieces of gear to one set, and if you have a certain amount of pieces towards the set, you get a bonus for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this expansion, there is no tier sets. They have this thing called Azerite armor with Azerite traits. And another thing that people were complaining about it was how RNG based the Azerite traits are, and how gear dependent some classes were towards some Azerite traits. Like, for example, if you're a mage and the release of Battle for Azeroth, if you didn't have overwhelming power as an Azerite trait, you're pretty much a worthless class, and you're it's pointless to play in that type of RNG.
Yeah, and it became more PvP based on the newest expansion as well. I don't really care for much for PvP.
So what kind of content are they going to be releasing for Classic WoW? Are they going to be adding stuff onto it post?
No, it's everything.
No, they're going to try and stay as true as possible as the original release.
So they're not going to add any more. They're not going to add any more quests or equipment or.
No, it's going to be exactly the same as it was released in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
2003, if you were in the beta, but very few people can say that they played in 0.10, which I was luckily able to play the last month of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why I'm waiting for Classic, because the nostalgia, better graphics, also the challenge rating for it too. Because I was gonna remember how many people will remember the formation and mechanics on the Classic, because we all have to relearn it again. That'll be the most funnest thing of all. You get frustrated after time getting killed like 20, 30 times in a row, but you know what? You start learning the mechanics and everything else for it.
Another thing is in Classic, because talent trees were a thing in Classic.
Oh yeah.
There was there was actual hybrid classes in Classic. Like if you were a warrior and you played arms, you had a choice between a heroic strike spec warrior or a slam spec warrior. The difference is if you were a heroic strike spec warrior, you were a hybrid between arms and protection because protection tree had all the bonuses to heroic strike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about the talent tree. Because it's the same talent tree that they used on Diablo 2.
It's similar, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Can you respec it, or are you stuck in it?
you can
You
respec
can respec it. You have to pay gold to respec it in the game.
Which is, yeah, Diablo 3, you had a couple, sorry, Diablo 2, you had a couple free respecs, but then you had to get like these item drops to respec after that. You had to get like a special coin. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, it's easy to do that in this.
and the old classic World of Warcraft, gold is actually worth something in the game. The newer ones, you get like 30,000 gold within a day if you really wanted to farm.
Yeah, inflation is a big thing in World of Warcraft. Like 300 gold in Classic is like 3 million gold in Battle for Azeroth.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that bugs me about the MMOs, World of Warcraft, is I want to be able to play on my own, even if it's online. I don't want to have to be only just one part of a raid, and I can only account for that raid, that one part of the raid. And I can't make up for the fact if someone else isn't doing their job. I want to be able to go to instances without needing to find 70 other people. I don't enjoy that. I don't trust other
You
players.
can in current WoW. You can in current WoW.
In current WoW, I know because people like me complain over and over the years. And I played a lot of WoW from like 2008 to 2011. I played it religiously, nonstop.
So
Yeah.
you played through TBC and Wrath of Lich King.
Correct.
Did you?
I started at the second expansion and went to Lich King.
So you didn't see how hard it was in vanilla.
No, I was not in vanilla. I was right after vanilla. I was burning crusades. That's what I started.
So think about your experience in TBC and crank that up times 10 in Classic.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be tough, but I mean, if it's a simpler game content wise, I might be for it. I understand that maybe like combat and mechanically wise, the game is going to be a lot more complicated in Classic, but maybe Classic's more up my alley. Only for the reason that I think World of Warcraft just went crazy with all of the different content. It's like Path to Exile now. I don't know if any of you played Path to Exile. But Path to Exile is just it's too much. They went overboard. Path to Exile has too much content. It's too much.
Well, just one of those things. You just gotta wait and see what happens. I don't know why did Activision and Blizzard join together anyways in the first place?
Because Activision bought out Blizzard. They did a merger. What do you mean? That's how business works, Lance. Get with it. That's how business works, my friend. Activision merged with Blizzard.
I didn't know about this thing until like later on.
That's like saying, how did WotC become part of Hasbro? It's because Hasbro bought Wizards of the Coast.
And for those that were complaining about how bad Diablo 3 was, it's Activision's fault. They're the reason why the main creator of Diablo left. He left before Diablo 3 even came out.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He couldn't stand the red tape, the bureaucracy. He couldn't stand dealing with Activision.
Yeah, before he did Diablo, he helped with Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. Rexar's campaign, he had a direct impact on Rexar's campaign. So when Blizzard started, it was 5 people when it was created. Those 5 people stayed up until like a year or two after Activision acquired them, except for one. One actually, unfortunately, passed away. I forget what illness he had, and they memorialized him in World of Warcraft because he was like a head art designer or something. But the other four stayed until later on. And then the last one that left was Mike Morhaime, who was the CEO of Blizzard Entertainment.
Hmm.
So a lot of people. So basically, what you're saying is, as Activision kind of got their claws more and more and more into Blizzard's operation, Blizzard lost all of its OG people.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Yes.
they didn't want to be involved in it, and that's what happens.
I got one game that Graham wants to play the most.
What's that?
Diablo Immortal.
I'm ready.
Fancy brought it up.
Here's my phone. Here's my phone. I'm ready. I have one. Hey Blizzard, I have a phone.
I use a tablet.
Yeah.
What was the post? Is that brought
Did
it
you
up?
hear about this supposed spyware that they're going to put in everybody's phone in order to get into BlizzCon?
What?
In order to get into BlizzCon, instead of printing out your tickets and stuff, they're forcing you to download
Using
an app.
a barcode app. They're basically making it so that a barcode goes on your phone and they scan that. They don't want paper printouts.
And the app also scans your location the entire time.
That's just stupid. I don't know. I just buy the ticket and just watch it on the actual on the ticket site. I just watch it live on the feed.
I'm hoping that this year we'll get that, because this year is supposed to be the Warcraft 25th anniversary, and anybody that goes can pick from one of two statues that are very articulated for Warcraft 2. You can pick from an orc grunt or a alliance knight or a human knight and stuff. I'm hoping that people that pre-order the virtual ticket can buy that.
Yeah, hopefully. I think they will later on. They always release it, on the shop later on. Let's see
I
what's on the
think
calendar.
virtual tickets are just fine because Ticketmaster does them. Everyone does them.
Mhm.
But to add in the extra feature where the actual app monitors where you're going while you're inside or even around the con is a little far-reaching, and I'm
It's
not
a little
sure.
disturbing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that data. I'm sure that they're giving some excuse.
I think they're gonna.
There's no excuse.
They're selling it to Facebook, and Facebook selling it to Russia.
So they haven't even come out with any type of actual defense to say like, "Hey, this is why we're doing it." They're just
No, there's no
so-
literal defense.
so they're just ignoring the fact that the app does that. That's pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
people are gonna go anyways. I'm just gonna sit down in this chair and watch it online.
So hey, last topic is did you hear Earthworm Jim is getting a sequel?
And that
Not a sequel, but another version of it.
and the television and television.
Yeah, so Earthworm Jim, which they actually reassembled a good amount of the original development team for it, and they're gonna make another Earthworm Jim. But it's exclusive to the Intellivision Amico.
No, we still.
How dumb is that?
Only do we know it's what's going to be on it on paper, but we never actually see the actual hardware. There's no actual hardware in person, or what it's gonna do, what it can do, stuff like that.
It's not going to be overly powerful. I think the system is probably being built for the type of games that they want on it, but at the same time, I think it's suicide to, unless Intellivision itself is actually paying for development of this game.
I think they are.
Are they? Because that would be the only explanation. Because it's literally suicide to produce an Earthworm Jim game solely for the Intellivision Amico when you don't even know if it's going to sell. So, if it actually is going to exist. That's an argument to be made, But at the same time, let's say that it does exist. I don't think it's going to be anything more than the Ouya. I mean, the Ouya certainly existed. The Ouya certainly launched, except it failed. It failed. It failed. I'm sorry. Television Amico, the Television Amico, which actually isn't coming out for another 18 goddamn months. So it's actually going to launch against the next Xbox and the PS4. God, it's going to be.
You also got to remember, they're not.
Who's going to buy it?
Well, this one, they're not going to fight against the Xbox or the PlayStation 4. They're only doing 2D style and a 32-bit style type gaming. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. That hopefully bring the nostalgia for it.
I understand, but what I'm trying to say is if they want to believe it or not, they're competing for people's dollars. Okay, and what I mean by that is people only have so much amount of money to spend over a certain amount of time. So
say that to the people that bought the Atari box and never received it back.
Right, the Atari, which has turned into vaporware now, and we haven't actually heard any updates on other than we had to push it back. We don't know when it's going to release. We don't know what's going on. We stole your money, but I think the Television Amico will exist. I think it's going to launch, and I think they're going to launch in a window where other consoles are launching, and I think it might not. They're not competing over what games are going to be on it, but they're competing for people's money. Meaning, people don't have enough money
for that money.
People are not going to have enough money to buy a PlayStation 5, a next Xbox, and an Amico.
That's why
too much. It's too much money. They needed to launch in a different quarter than those systems. So if they launch in the same quarter as those two systems, or even one of those systems, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose big.
That's why you have two kidney. Just sell one.
It would have been like if Godzilla tried to launch in the same week or the week after or the week before Endgame. It would have been a disaster for Godzilla. And I'm really hoping that Godzilla is going to be a great movie. I'm really excited for it. But I'll be the first to admit that if it had launched the week before, the week of, or the week after Endgame, lights out. Lights out. They made the correct decision to launch 4 weeks later, which is essentially what they're doing. We're going to see Godzilla, on May 26th or thereabouts.
They're fighting against Detective Pikachu, though.
I don't think when does Detective Pikachu come out?
May 10th.
Next week, on the 8th or the 10th, right?
May 10th.
That's still 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks before Godzilla, and I don't think
the hype for Detective Pikachu will be over by then. So
yeah, I don't think Detective Pikachu would have touched Godzilla anyway. I know how popular Pokemon is. I just think that the crowd of moviegoers would have gone towards Godzilla, not Pikachu, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I think Pikachu would have been the loser in that battle.
I don't know.
I do. I think Pikachu would have been the loser in that battle, just from the reactions to the trailers. And I think Pikachu might be a decent movie. Who knows? But they made the right decision to at least give it a 2-week breathing room from Godzilla itself. 2 weeks after Endgame, 2 weeks before Godzilla. I think they're okay.
Yeah, I think we should. Anything you guys want to add in before?
That's all I have to say tonight. What about you, Post? Anything you would like to add, good sir?
No.
Ashley?
Nada.
Well, let's hear. Don't spoil Endgame for others, but my god, the beginning, okay, I'm not gonna read the rest of it. Fire Phoenix. Okay,
well,
guys.
Just so you know, as far as spoilers go for Endgame, in the media, they've lifted. The media has basically lifted the Endgame spoiler. Whatever you call it. they've lifted the embargo. That's the word I'm going for. The embargo has been lifted on Endgame spoilers. So basically, Marvel and Disney are saying just let the spoilers fly at this point. So you're gonna start if you haven't seen it by now, you're gonna be seeing spoilers everywhere now because Disney has basically just said let the floodgates open. If they haven't seen it by now, oh well.
Well, Disney and Marvel can't do anything about it because people have been doing it ever since
Well,
it
no,
came out.
no. Hold on. Right. Spoilers have been coming out, but as far as mass media goes and a lot of the critics, they basically said, hey, we want to embargo the majority of spoilers into, a certain date, and we're now hitting that date. So now Disney is basically saying, just let it fly. Embargo is over. Anyone can say anything they want.
So is Mark Ruffalo going to get in trouble now?
Man,
He did technically spoil part of it, and
he did.
they went out of their way giving him dummy scripts and stuff like that, just so that he won't spoil it because he's known for spoiling some things in the past.
That's hilarious.
Like the names for some of the movies, like Infinity War on the Jimmy Kimmel show or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this time he was like, "Oh, by the way, he gets married," and then he wasn't even sure whether or not that was true because he got a dummy script and it ended up
That's
getting
awesome.
true.
That's freaking awesome. Here you go, Mark. At the end, you die. Sorry, buddy. He goes around saying the Hulk dies at the end of this movie. No, even though it doesn't happen. But
anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. Check out the channel down below. And I will start Minecraft at 12 a.m. We'll play about for 1 or 2 hours. And just letting you know, guys, as well, that Monday and Tuesday I will not be streaming. I have a procedure.
He's going to be sick in bed.
Because I have a procedure I have to undergo. More about that video will be up by tomorrow as well. The regular contest will still be up by throughout this week. Well, anyhow, guys, you guys are watching. Have a great day. Have fun working tomorrow, going to school tomorrow. I'll see you tonight at midnight. Have a good night, guys. Bye.